Ever feel like the stock market's speaking some kind of secret language? Like you see the numbers flashing, buy, sell, but
It can be a bit overwhelming.
right, like way too much, way too fast. How's anyone supposed to make sense of it all?
Yeah, especially with high-frequency trading, adding even more speed and complexity to the whole thing.
Exactly. It's like I'm trying to follow a conversation, but everyone's talking a mile a minute. And that's why this tool, MetaQuant, is so fascinating to me.
How so?
Well, it claims to make all that invisible stuff, the high-frequency trading, even market manipulation, it makes it visible.
Huh. Like giving you X-ray vision right into the market.
Okay, now you're speaking my language. So paint me a picture. How does it actually work?
Well, imagine a 3D chess game, but instead of just seeing the pieces, you see like the potential moves, the strategies, all playing out in real time right in front of you.
Yeah.
And MetaQuant boils it all down to four main things: price, volume, liquidity, and then time.
Okay, that makes sense. So price, that's like our starting point, right?
Exactly. The familiar ticker tape,
Yeah.
just simplified visually.
Makes sense. Then we've got volume. But you're saying this isn't just how much is being traded.
You got it. MetaQuant actually shows you the size of each trade as a sphere.
So like a big trade, big sphere.
Exactly. And that's where it gets really cool. The spheres aren't static. They like pulse, grow, shrink as trades happen live.
So I'm picturing this bunch of spheres bouncing around, some bigger than others.
Yeah, like a really intense lava lamp.
Huh. Okay. That's got to be way more insightful than just looking at a bunch of numbers, right? But what about liquidity? Where does that fit into all this?
Good question. So think of liquidity as the fuel that moves prices. It's how much buying and selling interest there is at a given price.
Okay.
In MetaQuant, it's represented by like vertical bars,
Yeah.
think walls, on either side of the price.
Oh, I see.
So a tall wall means there's a lot of liquidity at that price.
Ah, so if a huge trade comes in, like one of those big spheres, but there's not much liquidity, it's like hitting a wall. The price has to move drastically to make it happen.
Exactly. And that's often why you see those big price swings.
Yeah.
Someone's trying to move a lot of stock where there's not a lot of interest at that exact price.
Okay. Starting to get a feel for it. So we've got the spheres, the walls, and it's all happening, what, live?
Right. That's the power of the time element. Instead of just looking at historical charts, MetaQuant shows you these patterns, these interactions, all in real time.
Like you said, X-ray vision into the market. Now, you mentioned spotting market manipulation earlier. What am I actually looking for within all this? It sounds like being a financial detective.
It kind of is, yeah. You're looking for those trades that, like, make you scratch your head.
Yeah.
The ones that don't quite make sense on the surface.
Me an example, I gotta know.
So let's say you see a huge sell order go through, but instead of the price tanking, it actually goes up.
Red flag.
Ding, ding, ding.
That could be our first clue. A move like that might mean a market maker is cleaning up the order book, getting ready for a much bigger move in the opposite direction.
Oh, so they're creating a smokescreen, trying to disguise their intentions? You could say that. They're trying to buy or sell without, moving the price against themselves.
Sneaky, but smart. So that's just one example.
Oh, yeah, just one. The key is not to get too hung up on single instances, but to look for patterns in these abnormal trades.
Got it. So let's say I'm glued to my MetaQuant screen, spheres are bouncing, walls are shifting, and then, bam, I spot one of these fishy trades. What's next? How do I figure out what the market maker might be up to?
Well, that's where understanding welcome versus unwelcome trades comes in handy.
Okay, yeah, you mentioned that earlier. So a welcome trade is like blending into a crowd. No big deal.
Exactly. Think about merging onto a highway, right? Nice, smooth flow, easy peasy.
Right, no problem at all.
Exactly. In the market, those trades, they just kind of get absorbed.
Yeah.
Very little price impact.
The market maker's like, yeah, sure, I'll take the other side of that trade, no problem.
Exactly. Happy to play along.
But an unwelcome trade, now things are getting interesting, right?
Now you're talking.
Yeah.
It'd be like trying to merge a whole caravan onto that highway all at once.
Yeah, that's not going to be as smooth.
Not at all.
Oh.
So in the market, those unwelcome trades, those are the ones that can really cause a splash. Those big price swings.
Got it. So if we see the market reacting like it's just been hit with a bucket of cold water, that's probably a sign of an unwelcome trade and something to pay attention to.
Absolutely. And remember those big pulsing spheres we talked about, the ones showing those large volume trades.
Yeah, the big fish.
Those are often tied to these unwelcome moves, yeah.
Okay, so we're keeping an eye out for those big players making waves. But it's not as simple as just like following the big trades, is it? Because wouldn't everyone be doing that?
You're catching on. If it were that easy, everyone would be rich. Market makers, they're usually one step ahead.
So they're using these big trades to their advantage somehow. How so?
Okay, so imagine this. A market maker sees this huge buy order come through, right? An unwelcome one, pushing the price up.
Okay, I'm with you.
They might actually start selling into that momentum, trying to push the price back down, like they're testing the waters.
They're trying to see who's really, really committed to buying at that new higher price, who might get spooked and sell.
Exactly. And those spooked sellers, well, they might have something called a stop-loss order set.
Hold on, stop-loss order. Let's rewind for a sec.
Right.
What exactly is that?
Sure. It's like a tool traders use to limit their potential losses. They're basically saying, okay, if the price of this stock drops below this certain point, sell it automatically, like an insurance policy.
Okay, so if a market maker can trigger a bunch of those stop-loss orders, they can create even more downward pressure, even more volatility, and potentially profit from all that chaos.
Bingo.
It's all starting to click now. But this seems like a lot to track in real time.
Oh.
Is that where the whole time element of MetaQuant really shines?
You got it. It's like you're sitting right there at the poker table with them, watching every move.
High-stakes poker, market maker edition. I like it. So the time element, that live view in MetaQuant, it helps you see those tells, those little hints in their behavior as they happen. So instead of reacting to the news after everyone else, I'm seeing those cards flip, maybe even getting ahead of those big price swings. But this all seems pretty, I don't know, next level. Is MetaQuant just for day traders? Or can, like, a long-term investor like myself actually use it?
Well, that's the thing about understanding these market mechanics. It can help no matter what kind of trader you are.
Okay.
Sure, day traders are looking for those super quick advantages, but for someone more long-term, well, MetaQuant can be great for timing those entries and exits.
Ah, so like when everyone else is freaking out, selling at the bottom, someone who can read the market might see that perfect opportunity to buy low.
Exactly. Look, it's not about taking away all the risk, because every investment has risk, but understanding how these forces work, how fear and momentum can make people act kind of crazy, well, that knowledge helps you make a better decision.
Knowledge is power. I like the sound of that. So for our listeners who are ready to fire up MetaQuant right now and give it a shot, what's the most important thing to remember? The golden rule, if you will.
Don't get lost in the details.
What do you mean?
It's easy to get caught up in all the little price moves, right?
Ah,
But gotta look at the bigger picture. Look for those moments where the market maker's showing your hand, where their actions, those big kind of unwelcome trades, they tell a story.
because those are the moments where the real opportunities are hiding no matter what kind of investor you are. This has been eye-opening, gotta say. I feel like I need to go back and look at all my charts, like with fresh eyes.
I love it. That's what's so cool about all this. There's always something new to learn, always another layer to peel back.
Speaking of peeling back the layers, this whole idea of understanding like the why behind people's actions, that seems like it could apply to a lot more than just Wall Street, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I don't know, negotiations, business deals.
Just everyday conversations.
Exactly. If you can understand what's motivating someone, what their goals are, what they're afraid of,
Big advantage. Trades.
it's like a game of chess. You can't predict your opponent's move if you don't understand their game plan, right?
Exactly.
So next time you're in a meeting, or even just chatting with a friend, take a second, think about it.
Yeah.
What are they really trying to do here?
What are their motivations?
It's about more than just observing. It's about, like you said, understanding that deeper game.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, folks, there you have it. Another deep dive in the books. We've taken a journey into the world of MetaQuant, learned the secrets of those market makers, even figured out how to read between the lines a little better in our everyday lives. Until next time, remember, knowledge is power. Happy charting.